Hey guys, Robot here, and today I want to go over some gameplay that I got on Lancang Dam Conquest Size Large. You've seen a highlights video from me on this map from competition. In that map, it's only IFVs, so I got in the main battle tank because, yeah, I don't like IFVs as much as the main battle tanks. Main battle tanks, I feel, are much more versatile vehicles, and they are harder to use. They are easier to use, but harder to use at the same time because you really have to work for your infantry kills depending on what shell you're using or what setup you're using. Whereas the IFV is called the infantry fighting vehicle for a reason. Any setup that you have on it can really do work on infantry. But anyway, that tank couldn't hit me worth a damn, so I don't know why I popped APS and miss a boat shot by quite a margin. I'm gonna sort of measure that out, and I'm gonna hit this boat right before the TV missile does and steal the kill from the boat driver. I'm sorry, but I don't really like to push past B, where is basically where I am right now, for the reason that they have a clear line of sight on you pretty much coming out of their spawn, and I miss a shot on an attack chopper. Even I miss. I'm not going to say that I am a robot. As far as aiming is concerned, I miss targets. I'm only human. And the jet's not going to give me the same opportunity. But skipping ahead here, trying to keep this video as close to 10 minutes as possible for you guys. I know you don't. I don't usually like to watch videos that are over 10 minutes long. Didn't quite manage to do so, but it's kind of hard when you're only die twice and you have pretty much a constant stream of action to do so. So over here I see something way out on the island, and I'm gonna try and get a drop-in shot on it without actually having to show myself to it, just in case it's a SOFLAM or something like that, which it isn't. It's the MP APS thing, which I figure out right about now. And those things take a lot of hit markers from the LMG and the HMG. They just, for some reason, DICE decided to make them tougher than a human. I'm pretty sure that if you shot that thing with 7.62 caliber, which is the coax light machine gun caliber, then it would die instantly. But who cares, right? It's DICE. But they have E, so I'm gonna try and hop and I see a rocket coming down on that IFV right there, and it's going to basically be a parachuter, which my gunner Kami Cat will get. He's a pretty good gunner. He's new to Alliance, and as a tank gunner slash boat driver slash tank slash AA driver, which I don't think we'll actually be using him that much, because the one map that has the anti-air on the upcoming Level BF Cup on March 30th, I will have some rounds from that posted. It isn't allowed. The AA is not allowed because it spawns on a flag, so only one team can have an anti-air. And if that team gets an anti-air and an attack helicopter, then they basically have complete air dominance. Pushing back up onto the E point, the D point here. Sorry. I'm gonna take out an IFV and then back up onto a little bush Wookie. I'm so sorry, but you wanted to kill me, so I smushed your little Wookie suit. And trying to get some tank shells in here. I backed off, let my gunner repair a little bit, didn't get any kills. But this is what I like to call tank graveyard, the parking lot. Basically, they can sit up on those roofs and rain fire down on you. And if they're smart, they'll move where they peek out so that you can't really expect them, and they'll fire a quick rocket, whether it be MBT Law, small, RPG, SRAW, whatever. As you see me whiff on a jet, I could have sworn I had that thing perfectly lined up, but I didn't, apparently. So I cap the flag, start moving up to one of my favorite spots to play, which is Upper Road. And D's flashing again, so I'm gonna back up and try and do some more work on it as I go, and I'm gonna go back into tank graveyard, which is something that I wish I didn't do. And there's an infantry right there, and I'm gonna mess them up with the LMG. Something that I want to touch on really quickly right now is my tank loadout. Lots of people say HMG is better. I don't think so. I know for a fact that Gomez from No Mercy uses HMG, and Gomez is a fantastic tank driver. I mean, all the respect to him. But and he uses HE shell as well, which I personally cannot stand. Like, it is awful.
I didn't see where that was coming from.
But I'm gonna skip ahead here when I respawn. It just has the HE. Back to the HE shell has too much drop on it. Same with the HMG. You have to really tap fire it, like literally just one shot, like one click, the mouse button to get the shots off and get the shots off accurately. Whereas I prefer just to be able to hold the trigger down for a little while. And with the LMG, if you shoot in 6 to 10 round bursts, it's going to be laser beam accurate, and it's not going to have a lot of drop on it either. And as for my tank shell, I use the AP shell, which does the most splash damage to infantry, so that's always helpful in competitive. If they're sort of head glitching a spot, I can put a tank shell behind them or right at the wall in front of them, and it should either hurt them a lot or kill them. It should hurt. It'll probably hurt them enough to they won't be peeking up anytime soon. So that's kind of handy. And the drop on it is not as bad, not nearly as bad as the HE shell. Like, the HE shell's drop is ridiculous.
On the second floor.
And my gunner says to me, "You're on the second floor." I'm gonna let him take care of that, and I'm gonna take care of the ground targets there. As that guy misses a straw, I don't know how, but then that one hits me in the side and manages to critical hit me, and mobility hit me. And those two never pop up again. I don't know exactly why, but he's gonna repair like a good little gunner. I put a video up on how to be a good gunner the other day, and proc scan was part of that, and there's proc scan working for me. As soon as he gets in, you see the support player sneaking up on us, trying to C4 us. But this is what I like to call hot corner. You can really farm here. I'd hate to say that word farm because it makes it sound like I'm not really helping my team, but I am, because they spawn all out through the containers that are on my right now, where I'm actually looking right now, and they run in, so I can literally pick them off as they're running 2D from the spawn point, which is handy. Most people call that spawn camping or watching spawns in pubs. They might think it's a dirty tactic, but if you remember on Sane Crossing back in Battlefield 3 on the A flag, this is the flag that I know the most spawns for. They spawn in 3 different places, and if I was in one place, I knew they wouldn't spawn there, so I watched the other place. And if I had a buddy, I'd make sure he went over to that place so they wouldn't spawn there, and we both watch probably library spawns, which is the little book room right on A corner there. So watching spawns can be helpful in pubs and in competitive
I'm back.
alike.
Oh, great.
I'd actually say it's more helpful
Where
in
the fuck is Terry go?
pubs, because not everybody knows that there is now spawn protection in this game. They put spawn protection back in for whatever reason. Everybody was complaining about it back in Battlefield 3. But they put it back in, so in competitive, most people, if they spawned in, they wouldn't move for the second to give them the spawn protection. Same with Battlefield 4, so
America.
spawns really wasn't that helpful, because 9 times out of 10 they would shoot you before you could actually do any damage to them. And this gameplay is going to be coming to an end rather shortly. My final score would end up to be 32-2, so a 16 KDR. Not that bad, not my best on this map by far, but I'm gonna die in a really, really bad way here, as you'll see. Supported the flag, they still didn't manage to take it, but I have the straw, so that's why that little diamond thing is showing up. Trying to put a RPG into it, a straw into it to do, I think it does 34 damage or something insane like that. And I hit the Jihad Jeep, but it doesn't blow up the C4. Don't forget to like, comment, rate, and subscribe. And don't forget, I will see you later.